Welcome to the Rewrite Your Story with Tasha Joe podcast, where we fearlessly dive into the vast realm of thoughts, ideas, and conversations that know no bounds. Buckle up and prepare for a wild ride as we venture into uncharted territories and explore the unexplored. On this journey, we leave no stone unturned and no topic untouched. From the profound to the absurd, from the mundane to the extraordinary, we delve into the depths of human curiosity and embrace the sheer unpredictability of life. This is the podcast where anything and everything takes center stage. Each episode is a thrilling adventure into the unknown as we bring you fascinating discussions, captivating stories, and mind-bending perspectives. As we embark on a quest for knowledge, enlightenment, and endless entertainment. Expect the unexpected, for here, there are no boundaries and no limitations. Open your mind, expand your horizons, and get ready to be captivated by the infinite possibilities that await. So whether you're a seeker of knowledge, a lover of stories, or simply someone who craves the thrill of the unknown, this podcast is tailor-made just for you. Tune in, fasten your seatbelt, and prepare for a roller coaster ride through the vast expanse of human curiosity. Get ready to be amazed, enlightened, and entertained, because on this podcast, there's only one rule. There are no rules. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back. It has been, I think, almost a month since my last podcast episode. I've been doing some traveling, went to San Diego, Hawaii, and just been having some fun and taking a break. But I'm back, and I have empathic Alex here with me.
Hello, hello.
And today's topic is going to be about manifestation, one of mine and Alex's favorite things to talk about. So we are going to list some examples of things that we've manifested. We're going to talk about maybe some blocks on why your manifestations aren't coming forward. And yeah, so we'll go ahead and start out on what is manifestation. So manifestation is an idea that becomes your reality. And I've talked about this in previous episodes where manifesting isn't a switch that you just turn on and off. You are doing it 24/7, the good things, the bad things. And that's why it's really important to be mindful of your thoughts, the words you're speaking, and just the energy you're putting out there, because you are manifesting every single thing into your life. So yeah, we'll go ahead and start. Alex, do you want to go ahead and talk about some things that you've manifested?
Yeah, so just some things off the top of my head. I manifested my new car,
Yep.
and I remember when I was going through that, like I had my other car was breaking down, and I'm like, I need a new car, and I was really fixated on the type of car, like how do I do this? How am I going to get the funds? This, that, like all of the details, and it never happened that way. And so eventually I said, okay, my car broke down, and we became a one car family for a little bit. And one night I was like, I really just want a car that has the headlights. When you turn the wheel, the headlights turn. The next day, no joke, the next day. I mean, it was literally as simple as that thought.
Yeah.
The next day, I get a phone call from my mother-in-law and my brother-in-law that they are getting rid of this Volkswagen Jetta, and she will help me get it and pay for it, and I can make payments to her. And guess what the headlights do?
You brought yourself back to the what and the why before you were worrying about the how, the when, and that's the biggest thing with manifestation is it is our job to figure out what we want and why we want it. And the universe's job to figure out the how, the when, and the rest of it. So before you were obsessing and trying
Right.
to control everything, and you release that control, and then boom.
Mhm.
And that's the thing with manifesting too. I mean, it's different for everybody. Sometimes your manifestations come in really quick. Sometimes they take weeks or months or years. It's just, that's why we wanted to kind of go over some of the reasons that you're maybe blocking your manifestations from coming through too. So that was something you manifested. Like, Well, you were manifesting it, but not in the right way for the longest time.
Right.
And then you surrendered and then it
Mhm.
came through.
Yeah, and it was just kind of that thought of, what would be nice? Just to have a car that has this one thing.
Yeah. To
And
get
then
me to work and back and to get me to where I need
mhm,
to go. Yeah.
mhm.
I'm trying to think of, I mean, because we manifest
I
several
know.
things, but I'm trying to think of a couple that I haven't talked about on previous podcast episodes. Okay, this is one where it's a little different. So I had never manifested money before.
Oh,
And
that's yeah.
everybody, oh, the
Mhm.
hype on, oh, do the 555 challenge or all these different manifestation tricks for manifesting money.
Mhm.
So I was sitting out on my porch with a girlfriend and I was like, I'm going to try this where you grab a blank check, you write yourself a check. And this was probably the first year into my spiritual journey.
Mhm.
And so we're sitting outside and I'm like, hey, I'm just going to go big with it. So I wrote myself to Tasha Peterson $33,000 because I've always loved threes. And I
Okay.
put it on my fridge. And then another thing we are going to talk about too is we manifest things and then forget about them. And it's not till later we're like, holy shit, I actually was manifesting that for a while. So I manifested or I put that up there, but then I surrendered. I wasn't trying to figure out where it was coming from. Well, fast forward, I think it was probably 5 months later. 2 months after that, I had told my ex husband I wanted a divorce. And so we went through that whole process, sold the house. And then once we got the money from the house, we agreed to pay off all of our joint debt.
Mhm.
And then with the remaining money, we would split it right down the middle and I'd write him a check and I'd get a check. It
Mhm.
was exactly $33,000. And I didn't remember it at that time because you get so caught up in
Right.
life and everything
Mhm.
else. But it wasn't until like months after I'm like, oh my God, the
Yeah.
$33,000. So you just never know where it's going to come from at all.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the hardest part about manifestation is
Mm-hmm.
giving up that control of
Surrendering.
yeah, because it's as a human, we need to know everything. We need to have things mapped out. And that's what we're taught in
Yep.
society also. Like you have to have this strategic plan on how you're going to get this. But when really that's almost setting yourself up for failure
Yeah.
because you're only opening yourself up to that one possibility of that way of happening rather than
Infinite possibilities.
exactly. Mhm.
And also, you're telling the universe that you don't trust that it has it
Exactly.
And
Mhm.
so, how you got to ask yourself too, like, what is your relationship with God, the universe, creator, whatever you call it? But, do you trust?
Right.
And so, I think that's been one of the hardest parts for me being a Virgo, being just all the things where I've always tried to control the outcome and
Right.
want to know what's happening, how it's going to happen, when it's going to happen is surrendering and not completely like you have to put your manifestation out there. And again, you can't just say it, it's the feeling. That is the number one secret and the biggest like key to manifesting is you can say I want to be rich, or I am rich, I am rich, or I have this much money. But you have to feel it because when you're manifesting, it's all vibration. So it's the
Mhm.
emotion behind the affirmation. And I realized that because back in when I was doing all those manifestation techniques and whatnot, I would journal 33 times a day and I'd write the same thing over and over, but I was just writing it to write it. I
Right.
wasn't feeling it as I
Mhm.
was writing it,
Yep.
and those manifestations never came true.
Right.
So, yeah, that's the biggest thing. And, I advise you guys to play around with it, experiment, have fun with it. And, another example is anytime I enter a parking lot, I'm always saying, I always get the best parking spot. And there's always a parking spot
Right.
available where I've been
Mhm.
in the car with other people. They're like, I never get a spot. And so observe your words and your actions and the people around you, and you'll kind of start to notice a pattern
Mhm.
for sure. What's something else you've manifested?
Wheel. So, um, I've manifested signs like, hey, if this is supposed to happen, I need to see a white owl. Or if I'm going in the wrong direction, I need to see a rhino or
Mhm.
whatever.
Or a
And
number or anything.
exactly, it could be anything. And that is the simplest form
Yeah.
of manifestation. And I honestly, I think that that is probably the
A good
beginner
place to start.
exactly where you should start so you can actually see that yes, you are manifesting these things, these signs, these symbols, all of that. It's a really, really
Yeah.
easy way to just start.
That's how I advised people back when I was starting out, and I would get phone calls. I'm like, "Hey, just try this and call me when it happens." And the craziest stories would come through because 'cause they'd be so excited, like, "Holy
Mhm.
shit, Tosh, I said, 'Give me this if it's a yes, give me this if it's a no,'" but also be open to, I'll give an example. One of my best friends, Sydney, had said, "I wanna see a bat." Well, instantly when she says that, I'm thinking of a flying black
Okay.
bat, right?
Mhm.
But the way it was delivered to her was one of her students gifting her a baseball bat.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
so,
Yeah.
that's where,
Mhm.
unless you're specific, and that's why it's really important to be specific when manifesting, like, hey, I want a new car. If you don't care, you just want a car, that's what you're putting out there.
Right. Mhm.
However, when I manifested my truck, I knew exactly the make and model and the
Mhm.
color.
Mhm.
And I just put it out there. That's all I cared about. And I started browsing. And then I found one. I went and got it. Boom. And I didn't even have, because I couldn't even prove my income at that time. I was just divorced. I didn't have pay stubs or anything, but I had a history of a good record. I'm
Right.
running a business. Hey, I'm showing you like my reports, and everybody's
Mhm.
like, "You're not gonna get it." And I'm like, "Yes, I will."
Yeah.
My dad even was like, "Tosh, that it's just
There's
not
no
gonna
way. Yeah.
happen." And I
Mhm.
went there and I drove my truck home, and he's like, "No fucking way." When your
Yeah.
belief is so strong, it's kind of like my faith and my belief with, or my trust in the universe, I don't even question it. It's kind of like I would never question that I'm right-handed. I know 100%
Right.
I'm
Mhm.
right-handed. And so I think that's important too, because your belief and your trust is going to amplify your
Yeah.
manifestations for
Mhm. I
sure.
agree with that.
Trying to think, what else have I mean, I've manifested several. Oh,
Right.
okay, let's talk about the Mystic Movement location.
Oh.
So I kind of briefly touched on this in my very first episode, how I'm in my third location now for Mystic Movement, but I didn't go into detail on how it happened. So when Mystic was at its second location combined with a massage therapist, she had asked Mystic to leave. She said Mystic was taken over and we just needed to find a different space. Normally, people would be like, "What the hell? I'm getting kicked
Right.
out. Where am I going to go?" I took that as, hell yes, the universe is expanding us. We're growing. We just need a bigger space. So, and I was only paying $350 rent for that location. And so the next day I hit the streets, I'm walking around, I find the building that we're at now, and it's $3,300 rent, 350 to
Yeah.
3,300. But I had a vision in all the back rooms, and we were just a crystal shop before that. And I had a vision that I wanted to have healers and estheticians and all that. And so I went for it, and everyone thought I was crazy. I didn't have anybody like renting the rooms lined
Mhm.
up, nothing. I just knew that's what I wanted, and I believed in it so hard that I could make it happen. And then all of a sudden, people start reaching out. Alex had reached
Mhm.
out, and then Christina, and just, "Hey, I'm a Reiki healer, I'm a this," and they just started coming in. Like, as Alex knows, we
Yeah.
manifest are the people we want to bring in. I don't go out there looking for, people. Right now I have 2 rooms available for rent, and people are like, "You need to get those rooms filled." They'll come when we know like what we want to bring in. It's happened the last, what, 2
Absolutely.
years.
Mhm.
Me and Alex will be like, "Let's bring in a massage therapist." Boom. A week
Right.
later, an
Mhm.
acupuncturist. Boom.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're trying to figure out next, which we wanted to ask you guys, like, what else does the community want us to bring into Mystic? Because right now we have a variety of practitioners, estheticians, but we're always trying to change things up and manifest our newest things. So
Yeah.
if anybody has any ideas on, what you'd like to see at Mystic, we want it to be a one-stop shop where you come in and you shop, or you have a healing session, or you have some kava, or attend a workshop. So
Yeah.
yeah, trying to think
Mhm.
of what to bring in next there. But that was, manifesting that location and knowing that we could make it our reality. So,
Mhm.
manifesting is fun. If you have fun with it, and just, it's got to be playful and it's got to be
Yeah.
lighthearted, because when
Mhm.
you have that fear or anxiety, it's gonna block you and it's
Mhm.
gonna keep things from coming forward.
Yeah, and also, like, ever since I was little, People ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up? I always said a teacher.
Mm.
And when I was younger, I did get my early childhood education and I was a preschool teacher and I hated it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I would love it and I hated it. I lasted
And you are a
one
teacher,
I
but not
am.
in,
Exactly. And
yeah.
so now I am teaching in a different way. I'm teaching people about their own spirituality. And
And I was going to say, don't forget the good news on this
and
one.
we have really good news.
Yes.
I am going to be teaching tarot at Olympic College.
So fucking cool, dude.
Yeah.
We were just in the car this morning and I got chills right now. And I was like, Alex, do you know how big this is?
Yeah.
Like, this is big. The fact that Olympic College is bringing in teaching tarot and you are the teacher.
I am the teacher. I am the one.
Yes, you are the
That's
one. And that is
huge.
just, I mean, because, think about,
It's groundbreaking.
Yeah,
and
it
it's
is.
the first step to society and people really seeing what this is about. And it opens the door for other classes.
yep.
Other divination methods or just
Mhm.
even meditations or
Chakras, all
spirituality,
the things
any
people
of the
need to
things.
learn
Exactly.
about.
Who knows what
Yeah.
now is going to be brought on to Olympic College? And who knows? I might be teaching more than just
Yes.
tarot.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Mediumship, how to connect with.
Right.
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh. And that's something too, is I just came across this post, or it was actually this video on how the system is a trap. And his main message, what is school for? And it
Right.
was so powerful. And I will definitely, maybe I'll have to like link it below or something, because the whole time I'm watching it, I agree with all of it. And I hope that more people can start standing up and making changes to where, yes, school's important for a lot of reasons, but every child is so different in how
Mhm.
they learn. And, there's one main point he put out, like, instead of giving that student an F, how about find a different answer?
Right.
It's the littlest
Mhm.
things where, or me as a kid, I couldn't sit still. And so I was labeled ADD. We all learn differently. And so if the
Mhm.
schools were done differently and teaching the things that really matter,
Right.
then, and I feel that's the direction we're going for
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely. And the coolest part is because you go back and forth. Like, yes, I'm getting this thing. They want me to be part of this. And then you ask, well, is this really the right direction? Right?
Yeah.
Give me a sign if this is the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
So, my favorite number, I was telling you earlier,
Oh, yep.
my favorite number is 4. My
Oh, yeah.
classroom is going to be in building 4.
Heck yeah.
My life path number is 1. And so, my angel number, my yes answer is 111. My room number is 111.
That's so cool. And that's a really good point to tell people too, is, we were just teaching them on, or guiding them on how to ask for yes, for no, but you can have specific things just for you. It doesn't have to be,
Mhm.
you can play around with like a spirit animal or whatnot, but you can say, hey, this is going to be my forever yes, which is the number
Mhm.
68. And if it's a
Right.
no, it's a 42. And let those numbers be your
Mhm.
guides through your choices that you
Yeah.
make. Yeah.
And also, like, our address at Mystic,
Yeah.
we're on 4th Street.
Oh, yeah.
And 619, the address, to me, that number is home.
Mm. And Mystic is home. It's
Mhm.
home for us, home for the
Mhm.
community. And we have so many exciting changes coming. We're not going to really talk about them on today's episode just because we have a meeting tomorrow.
Right.
But yeah, we've got some fun stuff, and we're always trying to, change things up and ask you guys what you want, what people need. And so yeah, we love to hear your feedback on it. On Instagram, we do a lot of polls for, what topic should we talk about next? And we just want to know like what you guys want to hear and what you want to learn about.
Yeah.
We
How
have
can we help you?
Yeah, and Alex, I mean, she does a ton of one-on-ones, whether you're somebody who this has been a topic that's came up a lot lately because we're surrounded around so many people who are realizing they have gifts but not know how to work with them.
Right.
And if you're somebody who is hearing things or seeing things or whatever it is, Alex has been down that road before.
Yeah.
Big time.
I'm still down that road.
Yeah, but you learned how to, I mean,
Right.
she went to a psych ward
I did.
because
Mhm.
she thought she was going crazy.
Absolutely.
And I've been around a couple people lately too who are literally like, "Oh, I'm crazy." And I'm like, "No, you're not.
Yeah,
You're
stop
tapping."
saying that you're
Yes.
crazy. That
Yes.
is the other thing too, I had to learn is I need to stop saying, "Oh, I'm crazy for thinking this," or "This might just be my
You're gonna
crazy
manifest
thinking."
that.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's not. You're not crazy. You're not
Mhm.
crazy for thinking these ways. You're not crazy for seeing these things, hearing these things. It is a gift.
So I know we touched a little bit on the episode you and I did, but let's let people know kind of what was going on with you when those things started happening.
Huh.
You're like, where do I start?
Yeah. Well, I was in a relationship that I shouldn't have been in, and I kept getting like visions of dying, and I started having these major blackouts.
Mm,
I don't remember, and I would wake up from these blackouts and be bloody. And I'm like, "What the fuck happened?" And I don't know if this is
yeah.
true or not, but it was like, "You attacked me, you did this," or whatever, but I was the one that was bloody and not him, so
Hmm.
you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
don't know what is true, what's not. Um, and so then I started hearing things also, like whispers. And then it started sounding like static and like a broken radio, like
Interesting.
just that sound and like people talking through it. And I'm like,
And you
oh,
knew nobody was in the room and
nobody was
yeah.
there, nobody, And I remember one time, um, on my baby monitor that I had on for my son, um, I I started hearing somebody talking through that, and I'm like, "Oh, great, somebody hacked our
Ooh,
fucking
I just
baby
got chills.
monitor." Yeah. And so I go and grab my ex, and I'm like, "Hey, listen to this. Like, do you hear this?" He's like, "There's nothing going on."
Hmm.
And I'm like, "They're literally talking right now." And he's like, "No, they're not."
So even though it was recorded,
Mhm.
he couldn't hear it.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that makes complete sense too, though. Like right now, you hear things. Oops,
Right.
you hear things, but I'm not.
Right.
We
Mhm.
all have different spirit guides who connect with us and whatnot. So those things started happening, and then that's when you realized, okay, I'm not crazy, right?
Right. That was when I was like, maybe there is something more to this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's when, I did go into a mental hospital before that because of the blackouts is when I went.
Yeah.
Um and then after the baby monitor, I was like, okay, I need to find somebody who understands this.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did.
Found a
I
teacher.
found a teacher,
Yeah.
and she helped me tremendously. Her name is Ivy Rivera. She has a YouTube. She has free classes on her YouTube.
And that's the
Like
thing nowadays. There's so much free stuff,
there's so
YouTube or
much. Yeah.
Pinterest or
Mhm.
any of our people at Mystic. I
Yeah.
mean, find somebody who can help you because you shouldn't have to go through this alone. And that's what we're here
Absolutely not.
for.
Yeah, exactly. And that was my whole thing. My thing now is I went through everything alone and it was the hardest thing in my life.
Yeah.
And I don't ever, if I can be of service and make sure that people aren't going through this alone, that is how I'm going to be happy.
And that's why we both do what we do. Same
Mhm.
here. I went through all my stuff alone and I didn't have anybody to talk to,
Right?
because when I started my spiritual journey, none of my friends were spiritual.
Yeah.
And so
Mhm.
I'm going through this and it was after I lost my brother. Usually it takes something that like
Yeah.
shakes somebody or
Mhm.
wakes them up or you hit rock bottom but I had an experience after losing my brother and so I started the journey and that's why I'm so passionate about and why I wanted to start Mystic because I'm like, more people need to know about this,
Mhm.
and it's not our job to save you, or heal you. We
Mhm.
help guide you. It's up
Right.
to each individual to do the work and choose that they want to, get that help or go down that road. And yeah, but I love it. My life has changed tremendously and it's only been 5 years now. And we have the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
And it makes me
Mhm.
think of all the people who never even get to experience
Yeah.
this way of living. I mean, my life has just, I'm happier, there's less stress, just so many different
Yeah.
things.
Mhm.
Yeah. I love it. What else? Let's talk about, okay, manifesting. So, like we've said, you're manifesting 24/7.
Yep.
We talked a little bit about money, relationships,
Ugh.
partners. Alex is kind of going through it
So
right now.
yeah, let's get into
But with
it.
partners is the number one thing that Alex and I host every month a new moon and a full moon circle. And we've kind of touched on this in previous circles. But the number one thing I like to advise people on is make a checklist. Make a
Hmm.
list of everything you want in a partner. And we've had people share stories how, oh my God, I manifested the exact down to
Hmm.
physical features, whatever's
Yeah.
important to you, you know?
That reminds me on like Practical Magic
Oh,
when she was like, "Oh, one blue eye, one brown eye.
yes.
This have the star, have this, have that."
Yes.
Yeah.
You
Hmm.
can manifest, and that's what we're here to help encourage you. You can manifest anything you want. You
Hmm.
can be, do, have whatever you want. And I get so excited about that because I know that to be true. And so that's why I finally found the love of my life, who
Yep.
we're engaged and getting married here
Yay.
soon. And he is the best person I've ever known. But make a list of all the qualities you want in somebody. But then you have to be able to go through that list and check those boxes off yourself.
Yep.
How can you ask to have somebody of all these things where you don't offer them?
Right.
And so, play around with that and do it. And yeah, it takes work and it takes patience and practice, but we love hearing people's stories on how
Hmm.
they manifested, their job or their partner or,
Yeah.
but what else on partners? Since it's your
We
personal
can.
business and
Yeah.
whatnot, but kind of touch a little bit on your history with
Okay.
relationships and cycles. And
Hmm.
we were just talking because I'm that friend that will be
Right.
blunt as
Yeah.
fuck
I
and
don't.
say, hey,
I'm.
you
Yeah.
are allowing him to treat you this
Absolutely.
way.
Absolutely.
So that's something where knowing your worth. And the biggest thing I wanted to touch on was, hey, how was your relationship with your, father, your mother growing up?
Right.
Did they allow this and whatnot? And
Hmm.
for me, where I'm like, oh gosh, my parents made that very clear. If a man ever talks to you this way, so it's easy for me to be like, oh heck no. Where
Right.
Alex didn't have that,
No.
you know,
I
s-
was when growing up, I was treated like dog shit.
called names.
Called names, I was all the things.
Yeah,
My mom was treated like dog shit. Through by my dad and my
you
stepdad.
witnessed your dad
Yeah.
treating your mom
Mhm.
that way, so you've always accepted that in
Right.
your
Exactly.
relationships.
And so, um, this is a huge karmic lesson that I'm going through right now. You think that you're done,
Yeah, you're
and
never
the
done.
universe is like, no, you're
Yep.
not done." Um, so I am going through something with my husband right now, and I am in the process of leaving, because it got to that point, of where it's just too toxic,
Yeah.
and it's not okay. I'm finding my worth now and understanding that it is not okay for somebody to scream at me. It is not okay for somebody to deliberately just hurt me.
Verbally abuse.
Verbally abusive, emotionally abusive,
Tell her to get a real
physically
job.
telling me to get a real job, like all, it just, and never having the belief in me,
Mm-hmm.
and just that feeling of never being enough.
Yeah.
I've had that my entire life by my family,
Yep.
by everybody in my life practically. And
Enough's
this is
enough.
me finally putting my foot down. I thought that I found the one again. I thought
I did
it
7
was,
times.
I know, it was great until it's
Yeah.
not great.
Yeah.
And I really do have so much love for him. I love him with all of my heart. I wish him the best, I really do, but he needs to get help, and I can't do that anymore. I
Mm-mm.
can't
It's not
sit
your job.
around, and I can't be beaten down like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, and that's the one thing I keep telling Alex too. I'm like, just remind yourself every time you even think about going back home because it's easier.
Right.
It's your home. People
Yeah.
get comfortable.
Mhm.
And I've been there several times and I didn't leave my relationships for the same reason what Alex is
Right.
going through. However, I did always like replay in my head knowing what I deserve, and if I go back, then I'm telling the universe
Yes.
I don't deserve to be treated better, or I'm
Right.
not worthy of having the things that I want, or the feelings, or the
Mhm.
way I want to be treated.
Yeah.
And so that's what, we advise you guys too. If you are in a toxic relationship or a vicious cycle,
Mhm.
relationships, and I will say this, and I put everything that I am, and just I feel so strongly about this. I hear it all the time. Relationships are hard. Marriage is hard. No, they're fucking not. I
Yeah.
don't think so. Yes, they can be, but Austin and I always talk, we are best friends. We have so much
Right.
fun. We get along great. We communicate like adults, we talk things through as it should be. There's no reason to yell, or,
Yeah.
it shouldn't escalate in that way. I am a firm believer that everything should be able to be talked out.
Yeah.
But when we grow up and witness yelling
Mhm.
and screaming, and I did, and
Right.
I brought that into my
Mhm.
relationships, and I had to choose, no, I don't want to participate in a relationship this way anymore.
Right.
And
Mhm.
so it starts with you. You make that choice,
Yeah.
and you will no longer accept it. And I made that choice, and I don't accept it anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It is, and it's a huge it's weird because it is a huge form of manifestation at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Like, if you are going to allow yourself to be treated not good, guess what's going to happen? Nothing's going to work out.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a Reiki session with Randy, like just impromptu, yesterday as I was kind of going through the thick of it. And the message that her and I both got was he was blocking everything.
Yeah.
He was blocking my manifestations for money, for a successful business, all of it, because the belief system kept getting beat down that I'm not doing good enough. I'm not enough. This isn't enough. It's not enough. It's not enough.
Yeah.
And when you get
And
told
you
that,
start to believe it,
exactly, even if I'm like, no, I am, no, no, no,
but
but
deep
still,
down.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
With that wound from growing up of that
So
also.
why would you put yourself and
Right.
continue to put yourself in that environment?
Exactly.
And that is the biggest thing too, is, I'm so grateful that I'm surrounded by people where we lift each other up, and, we raise each other's vibrations, and we feel good around each other, and pay attention to that. I always tell people, do a body scan, like at the end of the night. Where were your
Mhm.
highs? Where were your lows? When you met up with that friend, did you leave feeling elevated or depleted? You have to, this stuff takes work,
It does.
but
Mhm.
I do the work. Alex does the work because
Mhm.
it's so rewarding, and because we know we're deserving of that.
Right.
And so are you, It's just, I love it.
Yeah. Yep.
What else do we have on manifestation? Vision boards.
Mm.
I did do an episode on that, where vision boards are so the hype on them, where people are like clipping clips out of magazines and stuff. No, no, no. I've talked about this before. Write down the things you really want. Go find those images, put them on the board, but also make it an accountability board where you like have blank spots to fill in, and put it somewhere where you're constantly looking at it.
Mhm.
Every time I go into my office, I see it. I should have one here too at the house, but I don't. Now I will.
Right.
But yeah, and I've been able to check off those. I'll put like a little check by them. As soon as the manifestation comes forward. And last year's, I think maybe I manifested like 50% of my vision board. So instead of
Yeah.
redoing it, I just ripped the 2023 off the top and changed it to
Mhm.
2024, and then kind of tweaked it a little bit. But it's fun. Like, have fun with it, and know, like, dream big. Like, what do you want to bring into your life? What do you want to change? And what do you want to manifest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So let's end on that note. What do we want to manifest next? Let's
What's
kind
our
of, so then
next
we can
thing?
do our next episode when that
Okay.
manifestation comes in.
Okay.
So we'll kind of put each other on the spot, whether it's big, small.
Mhm.
I already have so many manifestations coming forward from, oh my God, and just talking about that, just realizing it. My 2024 board, you've seen it a million
Mhm.
times. It was find my best friend, marry him,
Yeah.
go to Bali, which I did last
Mhm.
year. And then there was a couple other things, but yeah, I'm engaged, and we're talking about going to Italy in October. So
Yay.
I'm probably going to be able to
Yeah.
check that box off. And then buying a home. And we're buying a
Yeah.
home right now, which is
Mhm.
going to close next month. So there are 3 right there just off the top of my head.
Mhm.
So yeah, what is something that we want to manifest? Hmm.
I need to manifest stability
Mm, yeah.
right
So what
now.
does that look like for you?
Um, a secure place.
Getting out of the home you're in now
Mhm.
and into.
Into a safe space.
Mm-hmm.
Um, having consistent income so I can build and then
Be able
eventually.
to take care of yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You can do that. Oh
Absolutely.
yeah, you're going to
Mhm.
do that. We're starting that right
Yep.
now.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, so it's similar. I feel like my biggest thing, it's been a struggle the last year with finances and
Mhm.
running, a big company and but doing what you love and not giving up. I will never,
Right.
give up. I love what I do and what we've brought to the community, but making some changes. So right now, we have some things that are in the works. So it would be stability too, but more so like oh gosh, let's see here. I just feel like mystics shifting and
Yeah.
changing,
Mhm.
so this new direction. I don't
Right.
know what that looks like, but I know that's what's happening and I don't know how,
Yeah.
but I know it's going to. So this new direction,
Right.
wherever I don't know, but I'm excited to see and I want to manifest that by the end of 2024, the next
Yeah.
couple months,
Mhm.
that we will be in a completely different, yeah, not even completely different, but shifts need to
Just
be made.
it absolutely. So
Yeah.
there is more stability
Yes.
financially wise
Yes.
and
Yes.
we can grow and excel.
Mhm. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I guess stability for
Yeah.
both of us in that
Mhm.
way. Exciting. Okay, well, we love you guys so much. Experiment with manifesting. Let us know what you manifested, how it came through. Any last things, Alex?
Oh, also, a big key to manifesting is giving what you take. So what you are manifesting, you need to be able to give that in some sort of way back to the universe.
Yes.
Mhm.
Equal amount of giving and receiving.
Yep.
Yeah, same with, like clearing out space to make room for new
Yep.
space, whether that's
Mhm.
clearing out mental shit
Yep.
or physical shit,
Mhm.
everything holds energy.
Yep.
Everything is energy. And
Mhm.
so, yeah, when you're clearing out stuff from your house, you're opening new energy to come through,
Yep.
whether it's, yeah, physical,
Mhm.
mental, emotional, spiritual,
Yep.
all of that. So, and we're in Virgo season. Hello. So, this
Yeah.
is the time to declutter and go through and kind of clean up, organize. And, we just had this 9-9 portal yesterday, which
Mhm.
is the number 9 is all about completions, new cycles. We're in eclipse season. I mean, there is so much going on astrologically that, oh my gosh, yeah, see chills again. I'm just feeling like the fire. I'm ready and I'm excited. I feel like there's so many new beginnings happening for people
Yeah.
right now. And
Mhm.
that's really, really exciting. So awesome. Thank you so much, Alex, for coming on. And we are wishing you the best of luck. And you're strong, you're independent, you're determined, and you're going to be just fine.
Yeah.
Love you.
Love you.
Love you guys. See you soon.